Hello, this is Bobby from Copalty Beauty Repair, and today I will be showing how to test power supply board PS-507-PHN. That's the number of the PCB. It has two different builds. One of them is LJ92-01511A. That's for a 42-inch plasma TV. And the more popular one is LJ92-01511A. I don't think I can focus well enough on that. Well, there you go. Apparently I can. So a number of people ask me how to test those. It's real simple. You gotta disconnect everything out of the board. Again, that's 99% reliable test, 99.9 I would say. There is one extra point. It needs to be loaded for full proper testing, but if you want to see whether it's more likely the power board or something else, this is definitely the way to go. So first you disconnect everything. You disconnect all the signals that control the board, and you just put AC on it. I have it here on a separate switch. You turn on the board and it will click, and it is now activated. You can see a little green light on the sub module here saying that the standby voltage, actually the fact that it clicked means that the standby voltage is okay. It's in solid green, means there are no errors. Right now the board has all the voltages that it's supposed to have, other than the VA and the VS voltages that are driven by this large transformer. So this is what's currently activating, and these are all the volts that are in all those connectors. And on this one too, it's also the VG, which is the 15 volts for the sustains, and you can measure those. If you are to measure those, remember that you cannot use that is not grounded by definition. It's grounded when you connect it to the chassis, but if you want to take ground, you better take it out of this middle one. And for example, let's say the VG, I will test that here. And as you can see, we have 15 volts there. We will have, let's see what else. VS we won't have yet. Here somewhere the audio outputs, V sound positive, negative. Those may be relative to the audio ground. And you will need to measure the ground of the sounds in order to measure the positive and negative of the sound. But anyhow, let's move up to the VS and VA, which are usually the culprit on the board. If the board has a problem at this stage, this would be blinking. It wouldn't be clicking just once, like in switching it on and off, like here. Okay, that's off. It's still on. It will shut off if I wait a little bit more. It's practically disconnecting from the seat. Now I turn it on, clicks and stays off. If there was a problem, it would be clicking back off and this would be blinking. And the number of times it is blinking before making a pause is explained into that table and serves as a guidance. Let me see, where's the table? It's somewhere around here. It's right under the board. So to activate the VA and VS, what you want to do is you want to pretend or play the controller board on this connector. You gotta pass 5 volts. I'm just using a wire from a cable with two ends that are connector like. So you pass 5 volts to the second pin here, which happens to be VS on. You gotta be careful if you're doing it this way not to make a short on something else. Now VS should be activated, and let's see, the board doesn't need a load to show it. Let's see if we can get it. VS is the bottom pin, and there you go, 214. That's a little too high. With load that will probably drop. It's slowly raising, so it does need a load, but it can stay good for long enough without that. So we have the VS, and we will have, you can also measure it here, and that's the testing point for it. And we will also have the VA, which is here. Should be around 55-60 volts. That's the way. If you can measure those, there is a 99.9% chance statistically in our experience, and we've done easily hundreds of boards, that your board is good. The next step would be to load it, put it in a TV and connect everything and see what it does. What you will be looking at in all cases will be that blinking code. If it blinks, it gives you an idea as to in which subcircuit to look. But you gotta remember that those are just guidances. They don't tell you the power supply board is good. An external board may be shorted, say the audio amplifier on the main board or something else, or the VA and VS that go directly to the ICs in either the panel or on the sustain boards. If any of those is shorted, VA may never raise, or VS, and that will be reported as an error. Doesn't mean that the power supply board is bad, but it's going to tell you in which subsystem to look for a problem. That's all. Good hunting, and if you have a problem, feel free to call us for repair. Thanks.